All right, so this is part 2 of Elements of Enjoyment. And so I want you to think about common educational activities in terms of their flow potential, or ability to bring enjoyment, ability to bring creativity. So you would rate these in terms of 1 would be little to no flow potential, 4 would be definitely flow potential. So what would you say about a lecture? What kind of flow potential? Actually, that one actually depends a little bit on your learning style. For most people, it would probably be down on a 1, level 1. But there are some people who would rate it higher, especially if it's an enjoyable lecture, if it's somebody who's interesting. So that one actually, there can be a lot of variation on. B, jigsaw reading or writing activity. Most people would rate that as a 3 or a 4. You have to really get concentrated on that. Learners have to really concentrate, really get involved. But it's not total freedom. There are a lot of guidelines to it. C, answer questions in their workbook. I have had students who've said that that's a 2 or a 3, but I don't understand how that can be. As far as I can see, answering questions in their workbook, that's a 1 all the way, 1 or a 0. D, write a conversation based on what they have learned and make that into a movie. And you can't see movie there because my face is there, but it says and make that into a movie. Well, obviously, writing a conversation, yeah, maybe that's a 3 or 4, but once you get them to actually make it into a movie, you're definitely going into the area of a 4 on flow potential there. It's amazing, actually, in my experience, how much flow potential movie creation brings. And then in general, projects, some people hate projects, so they put a 1 or a 2 on it. In general, though, projects are 4. If they're done right, if the teacher leads into them right, a project should always be a 4. All right, so let's talk about enhancing personal creativity based upon these elements of enjoyment. What does that mean? Well, first and foremost, it means that you need to cultivate curiosity and interest, okay? So cultivate curiosity and interest. One way to do that, try to be surprised or surprise someone every day. What a concept. Try to be surprised or surprise someone every day. Cultivate curiosity and interest. One of the very first tasks I had to do was try something different. That fits into this category, okay? Another aspect of enhancing, and one way that we can build our own personal creativity, wake up in the morning with a specific goal in mind. I find that one interesting also. In fact, when I want to sleep more, I try to just keep my mind blank, because once I have some thought in my mind, then I'm awake. I'm wide awake. Okay. And then a third aspect, to keep enjoying something, you need to increase its complexity, which explains why work bores us after a certain amount of time, because a lot of times we don't keep adding in complexity. We don't keep making things difficult. So in our own personal life, we can enjoy life more. We can enjoy what we're doing more if we add some levels of complexity. And then fourthly, you need to take charge of your schedule. All right? I love this. Can you carve out time for yourself when your energy is most efficient? Can you carve out time for yourself when your energy is most efficient? A lot of us don't even know when our energy is most efficient. Okay, so middle of the day, late in the day, early day. But a lot of us give ourselves the leftover time at the very end of the day when we're most tired. That's when we take time for ourselves. Or even some of us take time for ourselves at the very beginning of the day. But maybe that's really not the best time for you. That's not the most efficient time for you. So that's not really the time that you should be taking for yourself. All right, so just like now research says pay yourself first, so we find that when you get your paycheck, you need to put money in savings first. When you start your day, find the time that's most efficient for your energy level and take that time for yourself. Pay yourself time-wise in the day and energy-wise first, okay? And then it says make time for reflection and relaxation, and that's, you really do have to make time for it. It's not going to automatically drop in your lap. All right, continuing. Enhancing personal creativity. Enhancing means where you can also increasing personal creativity. Another way of doing that is shape your space. Environment matters. Take control over your work area. Take control over your learning space. Do stuff, put stuff, items there that encourage you, that don't drain you, that give energy, bring energy to your life. I knew one woman who she just started buying all kinds of suns and symbols of sun and found that her energy level increased dramatically when she had all of these. She looked around her room and she had all of these different pictures of suns there. Okay, what is it that energizes you? Color, family, whatever. And then I think this is the sixth one. Start doing more of what you love and less of what you hate. What a great world it would be if we did this. Start doing more of what you love and less of what you hate. The next one, find a problem to be solved. It relates to constantly being surprised. But find a problem to be solved. One of the things they tell older retirees, they don't have the daily work problems anymore. So that's when they should turn to crossword puzzles or Sudoku, word finds, any kind of problem that will keep their mind active and growing. The next one, look at problems from as many viewpoints as possible, and these last ones kind of all relate, but look at problems from as many viewpoints as possible. Try to look at it from different angles. Don't be stuck looking at it from just one particular aspect. Try to put yourself, create a different role and look at it from another point of view. And then it says produce as many ideas as possible. So you want to create lots of different ideas and then pick out the best one, okay? A lot of times we try to just in our mind decide this is the best one, and we start going with it, but you need to give yourself a chance to produce as many ideas as possible. And then try to produce unlikely ideas. Try to produce unlikely ideas. So ideas that seem weird or strange, a lot of times those are going to lead you to good ideas, okay? And actually most inventions, to be honest with you, most inventions did start with some kind of strange or weird idea. And then lastly, choose a domain to specialize in. So domain you can think of as career field, but you need to be trained. To be truly creative, you have to be trained. You have to choose a domain to specialize in. All right, sorry that this part 2 ended up being so long, but hopefully it'll give you some good ideas for building your own personal creativity.